Hello, my name is Ekaterina and today I would like to present you my research topic. My PhD is part of the big European project called STINTS. It stands short for Skin Tissue Integrity Under Shear. And the focus of my project is modeling of the interactions between the soft tissues and the supporting surfaces like wheelchair cushions or mattresses in relation with the pressure ulcers. This work required both experimental and modeling parts. So I have three supervisors with expertise in both of these fields. Now, what is the pressure ulcer? Pressure ulcer is the condition affecting the soft tissues located above the bony prominences under the loading. It could occur under the high load over the small period of time, like tens of minutes, or under the moderate loading over the longer periods of times, like several hours. One of the most common sites of the pressure ulcer development is the region of the sacrum. It could be affected in both lying and sitting positions. The mechanical state of the internal soft tissues under the load is commonly assessed with fine element modeling. It was highlighted in the literature that the person-specific data should be used for the geometry of the bony prominence. In the case of my project, it's the first and the second sacral vertebrae. And for the material properties chosen to represent the skin, adipose tissues and the muscle, because these parameters could have an important effect on the results of the simulation. The gold standard in the medical imaging for acquiring this data is 3D MRI or CT scan. However, in the clinical environment, they could be an expensive solution and not easily accessible for prevention purpose. That's why the ultrasound started being investigated as a possible alternative for these modalities. So to further investigate the possibility of using a 2D ultrasound images, to predict the subject-specific risk of the pressure ulcer development, the custom-made setup was designed, allowing to acquire the geometrical data in both ultrasound setting and inside of the MRI. First step in the post-processing of the data is the assessment of the out-of-plane movements of the tissues based on the displacement fields from the 3D MRI image. Because the ultrasound acquisition allows us to observe the displacements happening only in a 2D field. And the second step of the process is building two fine element models, one based on the 3D data from the MRI scans and another one based on the 2D data acquired with the ultrasound. And the goal is to compare the strain-stress fields acquired as a result of both of these simulations, to assess the possibility of using the 2D ultrasound as an easy, accessible alternative to MRI scan to build a personalized entanglement model to assess the risk of the sacral pressure ulcer. Thank you for listening.